Welcome back, children. In the previous class, we completed the discussion of questions in the A reading, the fun they had. Now, let us go to vocabulary and grammar part in this particular class. In the vocabulary, in the first question, you can see fill in the blanks with the words from the box. There are 5 words given in the green box there with 5 sentences with each one having a blank. So, let us see the first sentence. And after reading that, you have to tell what word should be filled there in that blank. Question number 1, sentence number 1, sorry. We look dash when we see something useless. We look dash when we see something useless. What is that? Scornful. Your workbook does not have slots for writing. Why do you always dispute your brother's statements? Dispute means disagree with, I told you already. The commander ordered loftily to the soldiers. Loftily means in a superior way. To the soldiers, open fire. Number 5, all the boys dash when they saw a snake in their classroom. Screamed. So these are the answers, are the words that you have to fill in each and every blank there. In the second question, under the same topic vocabulary, pick out the opposites for the following words of the story and use them in your own sentences. So, here one is serious and you have to pick up the opposite from the text only, not from outside. So, funny is the opposite of serious. Unless you read the story and understand the lesson properly, you cannot write the opposites. These words opposite you have to pick up from the text, from the lesson, the fun they had. And after writing that word, we have to use those words in your own sentences. Okay, children, you have to write the opposites and use those opposite words in sentences of your own. Scarce, opposite. Plenty. See, it is there in your textbook. Idle. What is the opposite of idle? Busy. Agree. Dispute. Create. Took apart. Knowingly. Nonchalantly. These are the words that you have to write as opposites and you have to use these words in your own sentences. Okay, children? A very important exercise. Number 3, look at the underlined words in the following sentence taken from the text. He was a round little man with a red face. Look at the sentence from the text, children. He was a round little man with a red face. As you can see, there are 2 adjectives, round and little, both are adjectives only, that precede the noun man. Man is a noun. So, the words which qualify nouns come under adjectives. So, these 2 adjectives are there. Man is noun. Okay, the adjectives round and little appear in a certain order. Round, little, not little round man. Why is it like that? I will explain that. they appear in a certain order. The adjective little refers to size, adjective round refers to shape. Okay, think of two adjectives of size and shape for the following objects and put them before the nouns. In the same way, there are 5 words given there. You have to use two adjectives in a proper order as it is given here. Okay, why should we write round little man? Why can't we write little round man? The simple reason is little round means what? Small round. We cannot say that small round, big round here. We are talking about the shape of the man first and then his size. So, round little man, not little round man. It cannot be used in that context, in that order. You must use a proper order of adjectives to explain or to qualify the nouns there. For example, dash dash table. What can be written there? What can be written there? A big round table. A sharp little pencil. Like that, you have to think over the kind of adjectives that can be used to refer to the objects given there. A big or large, you can already, we have used big, a large square room. Like that. You can write the other words. A round fluffy chapati. A big fat cat. This is how we can use two different adjectives in the same order, in a proper order. You cannot write fat big cat, because big cannot be fat or thin. Big fat cat is okay, no problem. There is nothing wrong with that. Okay, now let us go to the grammar part. Let us discuss grammar part. Look at that grammar part, children. In the first part in this topic, there is a sentence given from the textbook, from this lesson. He added loftily, under loftily is underlined here, pronouncing the word carefully. Carefully is underlined. Centuries ago. In this sentence, the words carefully and loftily are adverbs of manner, because they tell us how the action is done. So, what are these words called? Loftily and carefully. They are called adverbs of manner. They are called adverbs of manner. Means the manner in which actions take place are called adverbs of manner, or the way an action takes place is called an adverb of manner. In what way he added those words loftily, in a superior way? In what way he pronounced the word carefully centuries ago? In what way he pronounced the word carefully? He pronounced the word. So, adverbs are the words which are used to add something to the meaning of a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. That means adverbs qualify verbs, adverbs qualify adjectives, adverbs can qualify other adverbs also. So, if you don't know the definition of adverb, It will be a very difficult task to answer such kind of things, okay? Loftily, pronouncing the word carefully, like that, adverbs of manner, and moreover, adverbs of manner are formed by adding the letters ly to the adjective. If you add ly to the adjective, you get the adverb there, adverb of manner. In what way you see this? Lofty adjective plus ly becomes loftily, adverb of manner. In the same way, careful is adjective. If you add ly, that becomes carefully, adverb of manner. Okay, now what is the exercise that you are asked to do there? Pick out some more verbs and the adverbs that go with them from the story or elsewhere. Like these sentences, in which you find adverbs of manner, you have to pick out some more verbs and also the adverbs that go with them. Here, added is verb, this is adverb. In the same way, pronounce is the verb, carefully is adverb. In the same way, you have to pick out some more verbs and also the adverbs that go with them from the story, the fun they had, or you can, if you don't find them there, you can find from elsewhere. And after picking out that, use them in your own sentences. He said nonchalantly. Like those words, verbs followed by adverbs of manner, you have to pick up from the textbook, from the lesson. Otherwise, you can pick up from some other source. Okay, children, you complete that exercise. And in the second point there are 5 blanks given and 7 words are given there in the box to fill in the blanks there. So very carefully, because unless and otherwise we know the meanings of those adverbs of manner, all those adverbs given there in the, all those words given in the box are adverbs of manner only. First sentence, we all behave dash when we don't have any anxiety. When we don't have any anxiety, in what way we behave there? We behave differently. We all behave nonchalantly when we don't have any anxiety. Nonchalant means not showing much interest, not showing much anxiety. I dash forgot about it. I completely forgot about it. First one is nonchalantly, second one is completely. Third sentence, the report must be read dash carefully. The report must be read carefully, only then the action will be taken. Sentence number 4, the teacher shook her head sorrowfully when her student lied to her. The teacher shook her head sorrowfully when her student lied to her. Number 5, the two teams played awfully, means very badly. So 2 words are left there, quickly and differently. Remaining 5 words, we have to fill in the blanks. I repeat, children, first sentence you have to fill in the blank with nonchalantly, second sentence completely, third sentence carefully, fourth one sorrowfully, fifth one awfully. Okay, yes. Now look at this second Roman number in grammar part, children. There are 2 sentences given there as examples. They turned the pages, which were yellow and crinkly. What is underlined there? Which were yellow and crinkly. It was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on a screen. What is the underlined part here? That stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on a screen. So what is the function of each and every underlined part there in the sentence? The underlined parts in this sentence are known as clauses. Already we know that. because they give some extra information about this. Here which refers to the pages. Here that refer to the words, isn't it? Which were yellow and crinkly? What were there which were yellow and crinkly? The pages. What were the things that stood still there instead of moving? They were the words which stood still there instead of moving there as in a screen. So it modifies, the underlined part modifies the main clause here. The underlined clause modifies the main clause or the noun form in the main clause, because these words, these underlined parts begin with which or that, which are called relative clauses. The underlined parts are also known as relative clauses or adjectival clauses, because these are qualifying the noun before that. That is why they can also be called adjectival clauses. So the underlined parts in these sentences are relative clauses. A relative clause gives extra information about or identifies a person, a place, a time or thing. See, it gives extra information about the pages. This underlined part in this sentence gives extra information about the words in the book. So a relative clause normally begins with a relative pronoun. And a relative clause normally begins with a relative pronoun. Relative pronouns such as who or which or that or where or when, all the what, which are all come under relative pronouns. It functions like an adjective. The underlined parts here function as adjectives. That is why they are also called adjectival clauses or adjective clause. Now read the following sentences and underline the relative clause. Okay, you have to just underline the relative clause there. The part Maggie hated most was the slot where she had to put some homework and test papers. What is to be underlined there? The part Maggie hated most was the slot where she had to put homework and test papers. As we see there in the explanation given above, where is also a relative pronoun. So here where explains or where word indicates the slot, means the place. So that particular word onwards you have to underline. Where she had to put homework and test papers, you have to underline. Okay. So in this, see, the part Margie hated most was the slot where she had to put some homework and test papers. What is to be underlined there? What is the adjectival clause or relative clause which begins with where here? Where she had to put homework and test papers. This is the relative clause. This qualifies the slot, noun. This second one, this is the old kind of school that they had hundreds and hundreds of years ago. From that onwards you have to underline, because that also is a relative pronoun here. That refers to the kind of school. In the same way, third sentence, what part must be underlined there? My mother says a teacher has to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches, and that each kid has to be taught differently. That onwards you have to, that each kid has to be taught differently. That's what you have to underline there. Okay, in the third one, combine the sentences using where, who, which and that. We are going to discuss. See children, here there are some sentences given and you are asked to combine the sentences using where, who, which, that. Where refers to places. Remember this. The relative pronoun where is used to refer to places. Who refers to people or persons. Which and that can be referred to things or animals. Which and that both can be used to refer to things or animals. Okay. Look at the combined sentences there. Mahi always tells funny stories. Mahi always tells funny stories. That we all like, or which we all like. You can write either that or which I told you for to refer to things there. So Mahi always tells funny stories that we all like or which we all like. Dolly ate all the biscuits, I bought them for Chandu. Dolly ate all the biscuits, that or which, you can write anything, I bought for Chandu. Okay, that which or that is used in the place of them. Them should not be repeated there in the answers. Number 3, an old man visited us last night, he is my grandfather. The old man, because it is referred to a person, we have to use who. The old man who visited us last night is my grandfather. Next, we should remember the place we often used to meet. Because place is used there, we have to use the word where, relative pronoun where. That's why we write, we should remember the place where we often used to meet. Divija gave me a camera, it was not working. The camera that Divija gave me, you can write which also. I told you for things, you can write either that or which. The camera that Divija gave me was not working. Like that you have to combine the sentences using where, who, which and that. I repeat, where is used to refer to places, who is used to refer to people or persons, which and that can be used to refer to things or animals. And the fourth part, this you have to write on your own. You have to complete the following sentences using suitable relative clauses of having your own idea, thinking your own ideas. For example, I know the boy who got the first rank in the NEET examination, like that. I visited the place where Gandhi had spent his last days. Like that you have to use your own ideas to complete the sentences using relative clauses. That means in the blanks you have to complete the remaining part either with who or which or where or that, depending on the kind of thing that is your noun before used there. Visited the place, place is not a thing, so it is a place means we have to use the word where. Boy means a person, so you have to write who there. You have to combine, you have to write using relative clauses. In the fifth one, editing passage is given there. Read the following passage. Every numbered sentence has an error. Identify and edit it. In every numbered sentence there is an error, a mistake. Number 1, you see, in Siripuram village it did not rain at 3 years. Not correct. It did not rain for 3 years. You have to write for there. That's a mistake. Yet you have to remove and write for. Men, women and children looked at the sky anxious. Looked means verb. So you have to write anxiously. Adverb you have to write. Anxiously for signs of clouds. The pond were now a wide stretch of caked earth. Pond is a singular number, so you have to write was. The pond was now a wide stretch of caked earth. Thirsty animals crowded around puddles of dirty water. Women went very far in search of water, not on search of water. Okay. Number 5, they returned with pots of water balanced over their heads and some fodder for the cattle. They returned with pots of water balanced over their heads and some fodder for the cattle tucked under their arms. Fodder for the cattle. Okay, like that we have to edit the paragraph. In writing tasks, children, Mary is a girl studying in class 8. Read the following letter that she wrote to her friend Candy. Wonderland, Computer Town, 20th September 2012. Dear Candy, I am very glad to say that I have established a computer teaching lab which gives me full information with the help of a mechanical teacher. It's an up-to-date lab. Technology is growing fast, isn't it? Imagine our classroom in 30 years. Reply soon. With warm regards, your loving friend Mary. To whom she is writing there? To Candy, Winterland, Technical Country. Now write a reply imagining how our future classrooms will be in the next 30 years. You may use the following hints while writing: e-library, robot teacher, online evaluation, e-screen, email. So using these hints, these words there, you may write a reply imagining how our future classrooms will be in 30 years, in the next 30 years. Okay, children? There is a listening passage there. Listen to a message from space by Sunita Williams and answer the following questions. Sunita Williams sent out warm wishes on the occasion of Diwali from the International Space Station. I just want to wish everybody in India and people of Indian origin around the world a happy Diwali. It's a wonderful festival and I'm happy we are part of it up here at the International Space Station. I did bring a couple of things that have to do with India from my father, particularly a peaceful Om that stays outside my crew quarters where I sleep, and the Upanishads, so I can read it while I am up. It is a small version of the Upanishads, but it definitely brings the wisdom to us while we are here and allow us to think of the true meaning of life and what we are doing. Heartfelt feelings for the work we are doing up here and how we are doing and for our safe return back home. Okay, what is the text about? Now, after listening to that, you have to answer these questions. What is the text about? Where was Sunita Williams when she sent the message? On which occasion did she send the message? What are the two things Sunita received from her father? In what way did the Upanishads help Sunita? These questions, if you listen to the passage carefully, you can easily answer them. In the study skills, there are two posters given about two schools. Read them carefully and then decide. Someone wants to become a sports person, or as a student, which school would you want to visit or join? Why? Write your opinion here. Government Model School, Road number 10, Jubilee Hills, Hyderabad. For those who want to stand at the right place in the competitive world, here is an excellent opportunity. Stress-free education, individualized learning, digital classrooms, experienced faculty, experiments and projects located at the heart of the city. For details, contact the principal, Government Model School, Road number 10, Jubilee Hills, Hyderabad. Next, ZP High School, Street number 8, Vanasthalipuram, Hyderabad. The only school that enhances all-round development of the children. Salient features, means special features. Located in the midst of nature, focus on all-round development of your child, individual attention, focus on social values, yoga and meditation, games and sports, dance and music, digital classrooms, moral education, Indian heritage. For details, contact the headmaster, ZP High School, Street number 8, Vanasthalipuram, Hyderabad. So, every one of you have an aspiration, means a hope, a goal. Someone wants to become a sports person, a software engineer, etc. As a student, which school would you want to join? Why? Write your opinion here in the space. Okay, children? With that, we come to the end of the A reading. In the next class, we will be taking up the B reading. Thank you.